Hi everybody and welcome along to this kind of impromptu weekday live. Hi Max, I can see you're here and I'm really pleased to see you, even if you are sneaking up from work. And hi Bernice, that's the only people I can see at the moment. Hilda, hello. So I've decided that during the two big weekend lives that we do on the Saturday and Sunday, I've decided to keep those exclusively for the Little Golden Book Christmas version. But I'm aware that not everybody wants to do a Little Golden Book, and so it might be nice to have another project running alongside that. So I asked the question yesterday in the group if people wanted to see an Edith Holden style altered file folder. Same kind of pattern design as the boho one I've just completed, but Edith Holden. And I don't think I've ever had such a positive response to anything, actually. Overwhelmingly, it looked like you wanted to do that. So that's fine. I've made a start on mine so you can see where we're kind of heading to, and then we'll make a start on the one that I'm going to demo on. So far, all I've done is folded my file folder up, excuse me, stuck a piece of Edith Holden here, and it's the text. I've gone for the text. I love the text in her books. But where I put text, you could equally well put flowers, images, and if you're not doing Edith at all, it's up to you what you put there. I have folded the file folder over, and I've applied Tyvek to the back where the folds are. This file folder that I'm using, it's quite thin, and I think that it won't stand up to too much opening and closing. So I've reinforced that with some Tyvek. If you haven't got any Tyvek, fabric will do. Close knit fabric, close weave is the best, and just glue it to the inside of there and you'll be fine. Bear in mind you've got to fold it, so don't put anything too thick in there. Excuse me. And I've inked around it, and the ink I'm using for this project is Bundled Sage. It's a lovely greeny colour, as you can imagine. I've sewn that on. I've put some ribbon or trim or whatever down this side. Again, that's entirely up to you what you use. And ultimately, it's going to have some fabric down the outside of the spine, back and front, kind of like that. I'm not sure I'll use this Hessian burlap stuff. It's a bit of an open weave, really. I just put that there to give you the idea that that's kind of what's going to happen. And then on the front, we're going to have this envelope. That's what it is. It's an envelope. Which opens, it opens at the top. It opens there, so we can put something in there. And if I stick it on, so I only stick down there and along there, we can put things behind it as well. So this idea borrows heavily from Gina at Firefly Studios 67. Firefly Studios 67, for some reason that's difficult to say. But she's an American living in England now, and she's just, I really like watching her and listening to her. She's just good fun. I like her. But some of her ideas are really good, and this pocket here is one of her ideas that I have borrowed. So let me give her due praise for that. Right, so let's get started. All of this is changeable for you. Where I've used text, you can use pictures. Where I've put on this very pretty daisy trim, you can put plain ribbon on, whatever you want to do. But however, it all starts with the file folder. And here we have it. It is just an ordinary file folder. As I say, it's relatively thin. Excuse me, I just need to get a drink. Could you get me a drink, do you think, please? Yeah. Sorry about that, guys. Dry throat. Anyway, here's our file folder, and we're going to fold it. I've seen a lot of people, I watched Angela Kerr the other day, and she was doing an altered file folder, and she folded hers up like that and then in. We don't want any of that business. What we are going to do is fold it this way. Now, it doesn't really matter where your tag is. It doesn't matter if it's right over on the left, right over on the right, in the middle. It doesn't really matter. It's not going to affect anything very much. But keep that edge straight as you can and bring this one over. Now, they all want to move on you. I'm just telling you that. They really do want to move. So it's a question of doing each one at a time and keeping a good grip on them, because they're little devils. Right, so that's about that. Let's just make sure we've got that on top of that. Yeah, I think we're okay. Let me just push that out. Phew. I mean, if you end up really, having gone wrong, trim it up. But you should be able to if you just keep your finger on everything. Keep your finger on the pulse. Let's just make sure before we really crease it in that I'm perfectly happy with that. And I think I am. So get your bone folder out and crease for your country, guys. Make sure that you haven't got any creases inside, because sometimes you can. So there we are. We've made a start. We're doing all right. So the first thing that I did was select a page of text from Edith. Actually, before I do even that, let's put the Tyvek in, because that's the kind of only bit that goes inside at the moment. So just really a narrow strip to go up both of those creases that we just put in. I don't know why I keep wanting to cough today.
Flo says she thinks some of those journal papers would be good for this.
Yeah, so do I. In fact, to fess up really, I did print out quite a lot of I printed out the entire Butterfly House set. And it looked gorgeous. But then I thought, no, I'll do Edith, because I've got a fair collection of Edith here. And those of you that want to do Edith can, of course. Those of you that want to do any other paper.
It's that way, isn't it?
Oh, it's the other way. Yeah, just check that. It's this side that I need the Tyvek on. This side, this. Down there. Okay. So let's just... I hope that might be long enough, but it's not. No, it's all right. I've got some more. And I'm just going to stick that on with Fabri-Tac. It's a funny thing as Tyvek. It's non-woven is what they call it. It's a non-woven fabric. It doesn't tear, etc., etc. You can paint it. It takes paint beautifully. But just be sure when you're gluing it down, because it can be a bit of an awkward thing. And you can buy Tyvek, well, you can buy it by the roll, which is what I've got it, but you can buy sheets of it, A4 sheets of it on eBay. It's not the dearest thing in the world. And just crush that down as best you can.
I think in America, aren't the US Postal Service bags?
Yes, they are, that's right. Yeah, so you could save yourself any money at all if you've got one of those US Postal sort of envelope things that they use. I don't really know how it works, but my bin's gone away. So just seeing as I'm here, I'm going to put the bit on the other side, and then it won't get forgotten about. It's probably a bit belt and braces this to put it on both sides, but I'd rather that. The other thing that Tyvek does, which is really nice, is if you you can heat distress it with an iron or a embossing tool or something, and it looks fabulous. It sort of goes into like lava. It looks like lava, which is not good for what we're doing here, but I just thought I'd tell you in case you ever get the urge. I really have got a frog in my throat.
Terry would like to know, is this a normal day or an impromptu?
Impromptu.
Just came across you on the YouTube suggestion list and barely got here.
Oh.
But you can always watch them from the start.
Yeah, you can.
Even if it's currently live, you can still start from the start.
You can, but then you miss out on the live chat, so you might as well just join in now, Terry. And then if you really desperately want to see something from the start, go watch that. But you're here now, so you might as well join in with the chat. I don't know, is Jen here? Because she is the one that started this blinking, thinking about doing a live during the week and thinking about Edith Holden. So she is the one responsible, Jen, for making us work like this, Mr. F.
Jen was just asking if double-sided would work.
Yeah, I'd say so.
I put yes.
Yeah. I don't know that I've ever used double-sided with Tyvek, but I can't see why it wouldn't at all. Right, so there we go. We have got... Why does this fold now? Like that.
Jen says, tomorrow's news was great rush at the post office for envelopes.
Yeah. Now you're going to have to fold this again because of the Tyvek, but hopefully the cardboard will have some memory as to where it's been folded before, and you'll get it folded right again. The Tyvek just adds that little bit of bulk, just makes it awkward for us. But you'll get there. It will go back, I promise you, even if you have to fiddle-faddle around. Yeah, I just need somebody to hold that there, please, if you would. Or this end up here, if we hold all these together. I've already done one this morning and it went perfectly, but I wasn't videoing it then, was I? Is that it? There. Yeah. Wow, there's a lot of hobbling and hawing going on here.
I know. Just to fold a bit of paper in a bit.
That doesn't look right. Okay. That'll do. Whatever that is will be fine. So let's just crease that in again. I didn't have this problem earlier, so I'm hoping that you're not going to have that problem. As I say, if it really has gone wonkety wonk, you can trim it, but I think I'm all right. I think I'm okay. Right, so the next thing then that we want to do, and what I did on this one was I chose to cover the whole thing with Edith Holden text. Now, you could cover it with Edith Holden picture if you wanted to. I don't know if I've got any, yeah, like this one here. This is an entire page picture and you could put that there and that would look gorgeous. The only thing is that when we come to do this and you put that on, you really aren't going to see a whole lot of it. And to me, that's a bit of a waste, really. I'd as soon use this somewhere where you can see that. So I'm going to use, maybe have to sacrifice even one of the pictures. So as we can get text, which is, this one's probably the best one, I think, text-wise. So I'm just going to straighten it off down there. See how far in I need to come just to get that tidy down that margin there, because I tore this out the book. I didn't take it out page by page. I'm using my craft knife today because my rotary blade is a bit blunt because I was using it on a glass mat. Right, there's a little bit there, but hey, no, I'm alright with my craft knife, thank you. Thanks though. Now I want mine to come right to the edge, but it doesn't really matter because I'm going to put trim down there, and down this side it's going to have the fabric that we're going to wrap around the hinge. So really you only need to be accurate top and bottom. The rest, it doesn't really matter. So that's the top there, and that's the bottom, but it's not very far in at all really. It's just about 1/8 of an inch. So just trim that off anyway. It's about there, I think. Do you hear me? I think I don't often do that. I usually measure. So let's see where we are then. Is this going to fit nicely along there, up there? Yeah, that's fine. So I'm going to ink round here, then I'm going to stitch round here, and then I'm going to stick it on. So this bundled sage is a really nice colour. So I can't remember what the other colour was that we were using before, and people were saying, you know, is it brown, is it green, whatever. This is another one of those, you know, is it blue, is it green, is it brown? But it's nice. I like it better than just the plain straight up browns, because I've given it a bit more thought, and it goes really well with Edith. Thank you.
I haven't changed it because I can't get to them.
Right. I'm alright with my craft knife anyway today. So I don't know how many of you have actually got Edith books that have been hoarding them, like me, or if you're going to have to go out and look for one. I did have a look last night on Amazon and Etsy, not Etsy. Don't go to Etsy for your books, they're very expensive. eBay and what have you. And there does seem to be some around. I think I'll be fairly selective. I wish the charity shops here would open up, because they're a great source of Edith. In fact, I think almost all of my Edith books have come from charity shops. Right, so I've just inked around there. So I could stick that on and then sew around it. Yeah, I think I'll do that. So I'm just going to use Aleene's for that. Aleene's tacky glue. And it just spreads out, I think, a little bit better than just the Fabri-Tac. It's going to be sewn on, so don't, well, unless of course you're not going to sew it on. If you're not going to sew it on, make sure you go right up to the edges and you really, you know, go to town on it. But yeah, I mean, Florence is dead right. You could use any papers on this. This is just kind of using my template, if you like. And when it comes to the pockets, the gusseted pockets inside, etc., I will put the template for that up on my Facebook group. So you can, because it's a bit weird working it out. Right, so let's have that down to the bottom, that on the edge. There, yeah, everything's looking fine, I think. Yeah, I think that looks good. It's looking good. I'm going to try and keep these impromptu ones down to an hour if I can, because just by the time I've prepped everything for the live and then done the live, It's kind of a big part of the day, really. I think I might have to trim that down when we're finished. Either that or I'll just get Mr. F to hold it tighter again. Because it does go properly square. I know it does. It's just this one's being a bit tricky. Right, so down this side, before I sew it, I might as well put this trim on, and then I can sew the trim in, sew it all in together. Now, I was lucky enough that I have this gorgeous trim. I love it. I've been hoarding it. I really, really, really love it. But, you know, I have others. I have this green trim that's really nice as well. It's more like a ribbon. Came from AliExpress. I like that one. What else have I got? Got this. It's just absolutely beautiful. Isn't that gorgeous? So yeah, you know, use what you've got. It could be just the job. You never know. That's pretty as well. It's that same sort of bundled sage colour. I mean, that's really nice. That would look nice. So lots of choices. You decide what you think is going to look best for you. I'm going to stick with this, seeing as, well, actually, I might choose something different. Yeah, I'm going to choose something different. Just so that at the end, I'm going to end up with two different looks. So yeah, I have got that one. I mean, that's just, oh, it's too pretty. And this one, I said to you, which I really do like. I like that. Yeah, I might use that. Or the original one that I said to you, this one. That is so pretty, isn't it? What about that? Yeah, okay, I'm going to go for that, but I don't really want to sew around that. I'm going to double side that onto here. So I'm just going to go and sew around my my non-movable chair. You don't really need to sew down this side or this side, because the hinge cover is going to go there and the ribbon's going to go there, so you don't really need to go around the whole thing. But I'm going to start up here at the top, which will be under the hinge fabric. And then I am just going to stitch down this side, simply because it's easier just to pivot it and stitch down it than take it out and start again. And then just along the bottom, you might just have to bend. Depending on what machine you've got, you might just have to bend your file folder in a little bit to get it through the throat of your machine. Whisper.
You're speaking quite softly.
Oh. Right-eo. Something's caught here. Something's really caught. It's tearing my sewing machine. What is it? Oh, that's it. That's it. It's caught on the camera leg. Right, oh, let's get rid of these ends. And bearing in mind, I haven't sewn down there because that is where the fabric's going to go for the hinge. Okay, so now I just want to stick this down here, and it's a kind of satin ribbon. It's really pretty, actually. I got it in a pack of 4 from my good friend Ali. I'll just move that down to there. Yeah, I like that. It's nice. So I'm just going to open this out to put the tape on, because otherwise it's just gets a little bit tricky. So just find my tape, which is under all my Edith books. Oh, catastrophe! They've all fallen over. Where's the end of this then? Here we are. So right on the edge, right to the top. So we're not going to get the front finished today, but we will get that pocket, you know, the little envelope finished. We'll get that done today, definitely. Okay, and I think I just want another piece. How wide is this? Little gap. Need a little gap and then another bit there. Like so. Marvellous. Right. So make sure that you've got those burnished down properly, otherwise it's difficult to get them off if they're not stuck down properly. I've just got a little bit of excess here. Get rid of that now. And I just want to just pick up the ends of these ones here, like so. And I'm just going to put a little bit of tape along the bottom there, just so as it doesn't fray. I don't fancy my ribbon fraying much. I like the idea of that, so put that there, which should hold the ends nicely. There we go. And same thing when we get to the top. Just going to put a little bit of tape along there. So is everybody all right?
I do believe so.
That's good. That's a step in the right direction then, isn't it? This is directional, this ribbon. It actually says on it, darling, which is quite nice. So I'm just going to stick that where the tape is. I'm loath to use a wet glue because it could come through my ribbon and then it would look rubbish. So that's why I'm choosing to use double-sided rather than a wet glue. So just trim the ends of the ribbon off flush, like so, and at the bottom, obviously. Who have we got today then? There we go. I've still got plenty of that ribbon left for another occasion. Lovely, lovely, lovely. I'm going to need to get Mr. F on the sorting this out because it's driving me bonkers now.
Me too.
It's. I don't think I've folded it properly the second time. But anyway, let's.
An original book that you're going to be using or whatever. People are asking which book you're using.
Oh, the book. This is the book that I'm using. The original, The Country Diary of an Edwardian Lady. This one's been mauled a bit, and I've got a new copy there that I'm still trying to kind of preserve. And I have, I've got another copy that's like just really the back and front. Oh yeah, it's there. I'll show you in a minute. Because I've made lots of Edith Holden journals, and of course I get used, you know. Anyway, let's make this envelope. So what I'm using is one of these craft envelopes, and I'll just measure it for you. But they're called C6, 140 GSM, so they're quite thick. And I'll just see. Yeah, that's my other Edith Holden book. Look at it. It's not. Oh, you wouldn't know what it was if it didn't say there, but that's what it is anyway. So this measures 6¼ inches by 4½ inches. So that's that measurement. Pop that over there. Lovely. So this is going to be the base that we build that pocket on. And you just really need to glue this down because we don't need that that part. We just want the sort of little pockety part really. So let's stick that down. Right there. And we want the top part to be the bit that we can put things in and out. So I am just going to cut off the merest, thinnest little bit. Just to allow us access into that pocket. Thank you, my love.
You're welcome, my sweet.
So that should be enough. Let's just check it out. These craft paper envelopes are great because they're really quite robust. They're quite thickish. So yeah, we've got a pocket. And the next thing that needs to go onto that pocket is some design paper of your choosing. Now I've chosen, no great shakes here, some of My Porch Prints ticking paper because I love it and because I think that is so in keeping with the whole Edith thing. I mean, it's so, I don't know if you can see it terribly well, but that's it. It's yellow and white, sort of cream and white really, paper. And I'm just going to use that for my the first layer of this envelope pocket. Now on this one, I didn't leave very much of the envelope sticking out at all, but I think I'm going to leave a little bit more on this one. So I'm going to just place it there with the edge of my envelope hanging over and make a mark where I want that to come to there. And then the same here, have your envelope hanging over by however much you want it and make a mark there. So that should give us a little bit more of the envelope showing. Because it, you know, it's nice, it's brown craft paper, it's okay to be on view. So line your marks up like so. Try and make sure it's kind of square. No, it's all right. I'm all right, thank you. I just think everything's got old all at once, including me. Right, okay. So this should now fit on our envelope. Like so. Hooray! Look at that. Perfect job. I have to say it because who else is? So I'm just going to ink around that with a bundled sage, not too heavily. But, you know, I want it to look inked, but not. But that's your decision, you see. All these things come into play to make the finished item your own, your style. Wouldn't do if we were all the same. Wouldn't need all these blinking YouTube channels, would you? Just need one. Right, so there we are, I've inked around it. And I'm just going to stick that down, but just check that it's okay to stick that down by seeing what the next layer is. Still got glitter around from the bowhorn one. And the next layer is text again. Now, as I say, you can use a picture, whatever takes your fancy. I'm going to use text. Let's see if there's any left in this book. This poor book, look at it. That would make just a fabulous front cover for a journal. It's just perfect. No, I think I've probably had everything out of here, really, that I can. That's not big enough. Oh, that's got all those mushrooms and toadstools on the back, but, you know, I'll just have to suck it up. You can only use them once. So let's have a look then where this needs to be. I want this to be in still further, so I'm going to mark it there. And there. I'll cut that off and let's see where we're left with the width. I hope you all have a go at this, because it's not difficult. There might be a bit of fiddle faddling and that sort of thing, but it's not difficult. The most difficult thing is folding that wretched file. I've lost my mark now. There it is. Yeah, that folding the file, that's a bit of a curse, but apart from that, none of it is tricky. And it's just it's a little project, you know, it won't take forever to do. So it's a nice thing to do. You can play with all your ribbons and everything. Oh yeah, that's right. I thought I'd made it much too small, but no. Right, so that's the height that I want that. So I just want to come in a little bit to about there and about there. So the one that I make as a demo is always going to be slightly different from the one that I do on the live, because usually I've used up what, you know, there's only one bit of whatever, and I will have used that on the demo piece or whatever, you know. I've only got one thing of each. I'm making a mountain out of that, aren't I? What are you laughing at?
You making a mountain out of it.
Right, I'm just going to keep these in case. Edith doesn't really, you don't get any scrap with Edith, you just keep it all. Right, so there's the envelope, there's the ticking page, here's the text page. Right, now then, on the top of all of that, we want, you see it here, this is a piece of just coffee stained paper, okay, and that's all I want, but it goes right from the top of the envelope there where it's split right down to the bottom. So I just want a piece of coffee stained paper. Let's have a look and see what I've got. There we go, perfect. So I want it to go from the top, which is there, to the bottom, which is there. And I want it to be about however wide this piece is, because it looks good. I can hardly measure it with, oh good, yeah. What's wrong with me today? It's the additional live. It's altogether too much. Like I say, blame that Jen. She is the guilty party. No, don't feel guilty, Jen. Enjoy it, and I hope that you do something with your Edith, because you get into the habit of just looking. You just look at it, and it's so gorgeous. You can't bring yourself to cut into it. I've got books like that I can't bring myself to look into it, to cut them. Right, okay. So far so good. So I've cut this. I should have inked it straight away, but at least I haven't sewn it down. And this needs inking as well, and that's going to go there. So let's do the inking first before we forget. It probably doesn't look like it's making a huge difference, but it will ultimately. Anybody asking anything that I can help with, or complaining?
No, they've just been talking about sewing machines.
Ah, right.
Most of them seem to have ones from the 70s and 80s.
Which probably work absolutely perfectly fine.
Absolutely. Particularly for this sort of job.
Yeah, particularly for this. So that's going to go there. And then I just want to ink around here. Yeah, I mean, we've got a little Toyota. I think they've stopped making sewing machines now, unfortunately, because they made really good little base models. And I'm fortunate enough I've got one, so that's great. I'm pleased about that, and it's not going anywhere, I can tell you. But it, you know, I should be using it really for this sort of project instead of my quite sort of expensive faff machine. Right, so that's going to go on there. Okay, so what do I want to sew around? Obviously I can't sew around everything, because if I do, then I'm not going to have a pocket, because you won't be able to open that if you sew across there, will you?
Is that bundled sage, that ink, is it?
Bundled sage it is, and it's lovely. I really like it. It's perfect. So what I've sewn around here is just this piece, and I think that looks okay. I could have also sewn around that piece. I'll leave that up to you, but I quite like it with just this piece sewn around. So I'm just going to really double check that that is, I don't need to trim any off it. No, perfectly fine. I'm just going to sew around there quite quickly. Well, as quick as I can, you know. Does everybody agree that sewing looks good in a journal, or?
I think most people like it, yes.
Yeah, I like it. I think it just adds a really nice touch to it.
Some people are having trouble going around corners and getting straight lines, but it doesn't really matter.
We all do. We all do. I think if you use the edge of your foot against the edge of whatever it is you're doing, you've got more chance of getting a straight line. That's what I do. Because, you know, they tell you to use one of the measurements there on the foot plate, but if you just use the edge of your foot against the edge of the paper, you can't go that far wrong. Not really. Right, so there we go. I am sewing this in a mustardy goldy colour. I did toy with the idea of using green thread. In fact, I had the machine threaded up with green thread, and then I thought, no, it's just not going to stand out enough. So I've opted for the gold, which I think looks quite nice actually. I'm just going to put a little drop of glue on the back there, because the machine tells me it's tied that off, but I never believe it. So I'll just put a little drop of glue on there, and that'll secure the ends. They will never come undone. Right, so I think we're safe enough to go ahead and stick these down, really. To be honest. Yeah, everything. Yeah, I think so. So I'm just going to use Aleene's because it's paper to paper. I'm not stitching it, so I really need to make sure that I get to the edges. I'm hoarding my fabric tank. Hilda bought me some the other day. If you were watching the live the other day, you will have seen the Fabri-Tac that dear Hilda got for me. And she's probably watching this thinking, why aren't you using a Fabri-Tac? Because I'm hoarding it. That's why. So try and put that on with an equal sort of margin round all the sides. Get your thingy, bone folder out, and your dry wet wipe. Soak up any little bits of glue that have come out. Just make sure that is firmly affixed. It's only a sheet of paper onto paper. I mean, don't get carried away. It's ridiculous, isn't it? We fuss so much, and really that's it at the end of it, isn't it? We're sticking a piece of paper onto a piece of paper. You know, we get so wound up with it. Blooming heck. When you think like the bottom line, it's just paper. Right, so that's going to go onto there. As I say, you could have used anything, any design paper that you want. I've got some gorgeous notelets here that came from a charity shop. Look at those. I mean, they would look fabulous on here, but I decided not to, obviously, because I'm trying to make this as much Edith as I can and minimal other stuff, really. But that does not mean for 1 second that yours has to be. Right, so this is a little bit smaller again. So there we are. So we're coming together, we're layering this up nicely. Just dawned on me, am I doing it the right way? Oh, that's good luck. More good luck than good judgment. But that's okay. I could have been sticking them all upside down, in which case we'd have to stick that together again. Right, so the next thing that I want to put on here is a die cut. This one has got 2 die cuts on. This is actually more green than it looks on the camera, and this nice cream one here. But for this one, I'm going to use this. Look at that. How fabulous is that? This is a die cut that was sent to me by Janet Rosier. And it's just so beautiful. I love it. And she sent me loads. Thank you so much, Jan. And I've been holding them. But this project just cried out for something really, really nice and special. And so I'm going to use this for this project. So this needs to get stuck on, and then I'll put that little topper on. Now this gets stuck on more to the right hand side. Okay. I'm going to use Fabri-Tac for this because we're beginning to get a few layers and it's a little bit uneven, so I need a good glue. I'm really happy at the moment because there's cricket on every single day. It's the Indian Premier League and it's fantastic and I'm really enjoying it. So long may that last. So You stick that there, straight along the bottom, straight up and along the top. There we go, that's that. And although it's just coffee stained paper, it looks really nice. I like it. I like that look. So make sure you've got that stuck down properly. It's Fabri-Tac, so it will be. And then we're going to stick that beautiful, this on. Just gorgeous. Oh, isn't that so pretty? Can you see? Now, if you want to know more about these die cuts, which I did instantly, and Kerry did as well, Kerry Betts in Australia, you need to put it, the best thing to do then is put your question on the group, on Miss Paintalot's Junk Journal group, and we'll ask Jan if she can help us out, because it's something like tattered lace, charisma or something. I think, I'm not exactly sure how it works. You buy the die and then you can download the pictures. Not exactly sure. Couldn't work it out. All I can tell you is they are absolutely gorgeous. I need to get some. They seem to be on one of our selling channels, Create and Craft, I think it is. So, you know, if you're in the UK, it might be worth your while having a look on there to see what they've got to say, or watch a programme or whatever. But they are fabulous. Absolutely fabulous. And she sent me a bag full. So there we are. Let's glue all over that. Let's pop that up there like so. Oh, that is just glorious. There we are. What have I done? Nothing. Oh, I thought I'd torn it. That would have been a nasty moment. I mean, you know, you can use fussy cuts. Nothing wrong with fussy cuts, and I actually think they look very nice. You can, if you've got a big shot or whatever, you can cut your own on plain or cream paper and colour them yourselves. I've shown you how to do that as well. So you don't have to have this fanciness, but I've got it, so I'm using it. And I think it looks lovely. Right, so now we're on to this part here, this little part here, and where's my stuff? I had it all together in a pile, now it's all disappeared.
What stuff are you looking for?
I'm looking for my card round and my... I had them all together. Oh no, everything's all over the place now. That's no good.
I'm not sure what it is you're looking for.
It's a round of card that we cut out on the Sussex, and that
one
round.
of those?
Yeah.
No, I don't know.
Well, it's got to be here somewhere. Bear with me, guys.
Talk amongst yourselves.
It's definitely here. I had it here, set it aside this morning to do it, so it's undoubtedly here.
It's not this side, I can't see.
Well,
Do you want me to cut another one?
no, it's all right. It's got to be here. I had it here. I haven't got another one decoupage, but it doesn't matter. Yeah, cut another one. Yeah, cut another one. Honestly, this is ridiculous.
I don't know what it is you're looking for. Just the round bit.
Yeah, and I did have a spare one of these that I decoupaged.
Alright.
But I had them all together. I had everything for this package together, and it was here.
Just another systematic look.
Oh, if you could see the mess on my desk. I think it wasn't helped when all the books went flying off. actually.
Is that side most likely, was it?
Yeah, I had everything together over here.
What's this here?
Yeah.
Is that part of it?
Yeah, there should also be a, you know, the roundel. I'll tell you what, shall we cut another one out of Edith? Because I'm not finding this one this side of Christmas. No, it's not happening. Let's
I don't know what you've done with it.
let's find a bit of Edith that we can cut out or something similar. What I had done, guys, and I have got it somewhere, I had used this decoupage napkin and decoupaged a chunk of stuff and obviously cut a roundel out on the scissors, and I'd also cut a roundel of this out as well to back it. It's gone on the missing list. You know what it's like. I know you all know what it's like. I was very organised and I had everything that I needed for this. But then all the books fell over.
Were they on this book already?
I think so, yeah. Everything else is that was to do with it. But I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll select another picture to use. I kind of want it to go with this, really. So how about that? What's on the other side of that? Even that. Oh, not my poppies. No, can't use the poppies. What about that? That would be nice. Yeah, okay. Could you cut me a circle up, please? Until we get that, we're pretty stuffed, really.
Do one the day before.
Sorry, what did you say?
I'm just saying it's typical. How can it go missing?
Well, it's gone.
Which one? What size?
I want it less than that, please, and I want it of that one there, so like that.
One under that.
Yeah, please. Yeah. How annoying is that? We've all been there, haven't we? We've absolutely, definitely all been there. Next live I will be super organised because I don't need all my Edith books in a pile. That's just silly. Just piling over there. It's about that high. I just don't need them, so that's just daft. But that's going to go there, and it's going to look lovely, I think. So we'll just carry on regardless. So oh no, this is the one that we're doing, isn't it? This is this one. This is the one that we had originally. So that can actually get stuck down before the next time that I see you. I'm just going to make it stick out a little bit over there. And I'm going to make that bottom corner come to where the ribbon is and stick down there and along there. So I've got somewhere to put stuff in behind and somewhere to put stuff in the top. So that's that one. But this is the one that we're doing today. And actually I really do like that ribbon. I didn't think it would be as nice as that, but it is. I like it a lot. So ultimately that will go in that sort of position there. I think it'll look nice. It'll look even better when we get all the stuff in the top and the sides and whatever. Thank you so much. That's pretty, isn't it? Goes with that. And it's straight out of Edith, so we're all right with that. So that's going to go there. I mean, it's one of those happy accidents, because what we've ended up with is much nicer than what we actually had originally. So I'm just going to ink around there a wee bit. Wonder if it'll ever be seen again. Yeah, probably the second that I finish doing the live, I would imagine. Right, so I've inked around there. These are just round nesting dies that... but if you haven't got dies, just use, you know, glass, a lid, anything like that. So I'm just going to stick this onto that. And that's actually the same cardboard as the file folder. You know, it's a file folder that I have repurposed for this. So there we are. Let's try and get this as central as we can. I'm not really good at this, getting things central. Oh, that doesn't look too bad. I really like that, and I'm so pleased that it's Edith, because, you know, we haven't got any Edith picture on there at all yet, so I'm really pleased that we've got some. Now then, what we need to do is get the crocodile out. And some eyelets. Right, I'm just going to see where I think is half on here, and make a mark. So that's kind of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6-ish. 1, 2, 3. So just there-ish. And 1, 2, 3. So about there-ish. So I'm going to make a hole in both of those places and hope that there's something like half. I need to get some light on the subject. I can't seem to, I'm in a shadow. It's going well today, have you noticed?
Where do you want?
Where I've marked. Can you see the little marks? I can do it.
Yes, I can. On the right. Holy.
Yeah. Let's have a drink.
You have a drink. You're having a rough day. Would have been easy to make the marks slightly bigger or something so you could see them.
Just as long as they're inside the cardboard, you know, they don't go outside the circle, because then I've got problems. Excellent, well done. Right, so now we're going to put some eyelets in here. All going swimmingly well. I do want to say once again, thanks to Gina at Firefly Studio 67. This, I've kind of changed it a bit, but not much. I'm going to put the coppery looking ones in this time. I like the coppery looking ones, they look nice. Put that over there. It helps if you haven't got the shakes, really. Squish that in. Oh, that's so lovely. And put one into the other side. So there we are. I'm not sure that they're exactly halfway up, really, to be honest with you. But, you know, there's something like. And I also, see, when I've got this out, I might as well put, I want a little one here, just in the top corner, there, which I know will inhibit my opening, but I'm prepared to do that. So let's just make a hole there. Lovely, and we'll put an eyelet in there, seeing as we're here already with the eyelet machine. There we go. We're coming on now, people. Nothing's gone wrong for a little while now, a couple of minutes at least. So the next thing to do is decide on whatever sort of lace, trim, whatever it is that you want to go through. With this, as you see, I use that kind of moss green rickrack, which I really quite like. I might use that again actually. Let's see what else I've got that I could use. Got this that's kind of the wrong colour, isn't it? I've got this one. That's quite nice. No, I think I like the rickrack actually. So all you do is thread it from the back through. No, thread it from the front through. Is that right? Yeah. Yeah, that's right. And then bring it across the back. Those holes are nothing like centre. I'm not surprised today. Like that. So make sure it's lying flat on the back, you know, not wrinkled up. And then you just need to have enough to get it to the back. So that's probably a little bit too much, to be fair. Like so. Okay, I'm going to bring that over just a little bit, just to there. I like it there. That's fine. That's good. So I'm going to glue that on there. I'm not going to glue the rickrack because I'm just going to fold it over to the back and it'll hold it there. So with the Fabri-Tac, what's everybody saying about losing things? Are they appalled or are they sympathetic? I'd like to think they're sympathetic.
Mostly sympathetic, I feel.
Mostly? Somebody got something to say?
No.
You sure?
Yeah, positive. People are saying, is it on the floor?
Probably. Right, so there we are.
Max is so engrossed she forgot she's got paper in the oven.
Oh, Max! I hope it's alright. It's probably nice and dark. So that just goes there and it goes over to the back.
She now says it's very, very coffee stained.
Yeah, I bet it is. And I'm going to hold that on with masking tape because ultimately it is going to be stuck. This whole envelope's going to be stuck to the front. So I'm just going to, rather than have to hold it for a second with Fabri-Tac, I'm just going to put some masking tape on there and on the other side. Try and make sure I've got it something like level.
Jen says, Mr. F, we're all fine and very sympathetic.
Oh, that's good. Thank you. It's just the way of the world, I'm afraid.
Will you live in a tip?
Well, I thought I had everything sorted, but so that's the rickrack on. That's really nice, that image. I'm really pleased with it, to be honest. And all I did then was put a bit of ribbon in the top, and I chose this gingham. It's quite a dark gingham and it's cream. It's not the, you know, gingham and white. It's green and cream, which I like. And I'm going to use the same as I used on the other. I know I said that one would be different from the other, and it will be. You know, it's got a different, that's different for a start. But if you find something that works, use it. And I really like this ribbon here, so I'm going to use it. Just going to bring that out a tiny bit more. There we are. And I'm just going to use my crochet cotton to tie it in place.
I blame it on the fact we haven't had a snack.
Oh, no snacks. No snacks. Well, we've got to go out in a little while because got some things to post, etc. So perhaps we can get a snack when we're out. What do you say?
Sounds good to me.
Yeah, that'll cheer you up. So I'm tying that in a very
cheery.
I know, a very tight knot, and then I'm just going to tie a little bow in it as well. He's off to see what he can find for a snack. I know he is. Put the idea in his head now. And I'm just going to put a little drop of Fabri-Tac on there. Not big enough to see, but big enough to hold those cords in place. I don't want them coming undone. So just tap that down onto there. Cut the ends off. Oh, I forgot we had those. Show them. Show them around. The giant.
Biscuit selection.
Snack today provided by Mr. F, actually, when he was out shopping.
By Mr. Fox. Or Mrs. Fox.
Yeah, Mr. and Mrs. Fox. So there we are.
Get a variety.
Which is your favourite out of those?
Ooh, let me see. Milk chocolate orange sundae? No. No, I'm not a fan of orange and chocolate. Milk chocolate cookies? Milk chocolate rounds? Milk chocolate Viennese?
Oh yes, I like those.
Double choc crunch creams?
No, I don't like
anything that's got the word double choc in it. It's got to go to the top.
I'm not keen on that.
Jam and cream?
Oh yes, I like them.
Golden crunch creams?
Yeah, they're all right as well.
Dark chocolate cookies?
Oh, they're more your thing.
Butter crinkle crunch?
Butter crinkle crunch? It sounds like Santa Claus.
It does, doesn't it?
Yeah?
Yep. It's a good stripper name.
What?
Butter
crinkle crunch. What would your stripper name be? Right, so this is now finished. This is finished. All we have to do is affix this to there. And we're kind of there. Bear in mind, however, that you will need that piece of thing that I've also lost, which I was showing you what the edge would look like with a... I'll just use this, pretend, okay? Just pretend that that's... I might use that, actually, I quite like it. That's going to be the hingey bit. So let's just bring that over and pretend that that's the hinge. There. Okay. Move this up a touch. There we go. Right, so if that was there and we've got that there, then I would say that that looks okay there. What do you think? I don't really want to add anything else at the bottom. I want to see some of this text somewhere. And I do want it to be sticking out a little bit, just for a bit of interest. So that's what to do. Stick it on. So it's up to you. You can use double-sided, Fabri-Tac, whatever glue it is that you choose. Whatever it is, make sure it's a good one, because it's going to have quite a bit of stress putting things in and out of here. So make sure that you choose a good glue and stick it down there, along there and along there. Leave the rest open. Then we've got the top of the envelope that we can put things in, and we've got this tuck behind there. So I will stick that before I see you next time, whenever that may be. Maybe never. And then we'll carry on, just like nothing ever happened. So I hope in some weird way you have enjoyed that today. It's been a strange one. I just wanted to get the ball rolling with it so you kind of know where we're going to, and you've got something to begin to do. You know, take more time over yours, obviously. I don't think those holes are exactly central, but they look okay. And that die cut's beautiful. So I will see you soon. If I don't see you before, I'll see you on Saturday at 2 o'clock, where we will be starting to decorate the Christmas holiday LGB. So see you then, guys. Thanks so much for joining me. I'm really sorry it's been a bit of a but you know, you have those days, don't you? And I'll see you on Saturday, if not before. Take care, everyone.
Bye, be safe.